prayer-wise. But I want to say good evening to everyone, and I'm glad that you're back with us this afternoon, and I pray that we will be edified through speaking on encouragement. Encouragement. And I'm sure all of us have done such in the past. We've encouraged someone, or someone has encouraged us, and we have, benefit from that. What I want to say here is one thought that I want to bring out here. When I was in boot camp many years ago, that's called basic training. We call it boot camp because, it seemed like boots was on our necks. But during that time span, we were going to the rifle range, being able to, having the opportunity to learn how to qualify with a weapon, rifle, and then later on we did a little familiarity, if you will, with a pistol. Well, the point that I want to bring out here is our drill instructors, or our, what do you want to call them, TIs, or whatever you might call them in your particular service that you participated in, for those who did, we had one that said, we're going to have duck today, for our meal, duck. And everybody was kind of excited because all we was getting is slop. I'm sorry. We were getting a meal that we really didn't appreciate. And so now we hear the word duck, and we really got excited about it. And so we were on the range in that particular area, and the battalion there is supposedly going to have duck. We got to the dining facilities, we call it the mess hall. We got to the dining facilities, and with that, the drill instructor came up and followed us up in particular squads, and then we marched one behind the other, and we got to the entry of the dining facilities, and then they said, you're gonna duck in, grab something, and come out. That was our duck. So what I tell you is, sometimes it's amazing what would encourage you. I was encouraged that I was gonna have a different meal, but I wound up not really getting a meal, but it was really encouraging the way that he presented it. And so tonight, I just want to talk to you about just a few things. I'm mindful of ways that we can encourage one another. You've been engaged in some of those particular things. I happen to see a card back there, and it's called Be of Good Courage, and it comes out of Psalms, the chapter 31, and it says, be of good courage. And if you want your particular verse 24. But it's basically encouraging us to be of good courage. And so I looked at that and I say, be of good courage. Sometimes it says, take courage. But in other words, be brave. Be courageous. And then when we talk about my subject tonight, in the sense of encouragement, I think that we all know how to do that, but encouragement is something that is sometimes misunderstood. You can encourage a person to do the right thing, or you can encourage a person to do, the wrong thing. We are talking about encouraging one another to do what's right. And one of the things that I would like to, one of the verses or chapters I would like to look at is in Deuteronomy, and the chapter is chapter 31, and the brethren, or God's people, were encouraged by Moses here, and it reads. Let me get to that particular one. Mark, come on. There it is. Okay, beginning at verse 1 and reading down. And this was after Moses had been informed that he was not going to go into the promised land, and he was going to die. But he was told what to tell the people. And as he came to, came to Israel, the Israelites, in verse 1 it says, so Moses went and spoke those words, to all Israel. And he said to them, I am 120 years old today. I am no longer able to come and go, and the Lord has said to me, you shall not cross the Jordan. It is the Lord your God who will cross ahead of you. He will destroy these nations before you, and you shall dispossess them. Joshua is the one who will cross ahead of you, just as the Lord has spoken. The Lord will go to them just as he did. The Lord will do to them just as he did to Sihon and Og, the kings of the Amorites, and to their land when he destroyed them. The Lord will deliver them up before you, and you shall do to them according to all the commandments which I have commanded you. Here, this last verse, verse 5, the Lord will deliver them up before you, and you shall do to them according to all the commandments which I have commanded you. Just think, these people, the Israelites, were given this information. Now they know what happened to Sihon and Og, and so now he said he's going to do the same to these that they're going across Jordan and move into their land. And it says that God, again, will deliver them up before you, and you shall do to them according to all the commandments which I have commanded you. If I got that charge and I knew the outcome, I would really be motivated. I would really be encouraged, to go and do what I need to do. Well, God has told us to go. He's encouraged us to go into all the world. What is it? Matthew 28 and verses 19 and 20. And we're to teach, baptize, and teach some more. And then it says, and I will be with you. Or, Christ says, lo, and I will be with you throughout the age. Isn't that encouragement? Isn't that what, you want to put that on your chest and you want to walk around proud. You're like a rooster now because you got it. You know what the outcome is going to be. But we sometimes don't take that serious. These individuals, they heard it. They were encouraged, just like we. We are encouraged, but we got to step out. We got to do it. And then we go on and we hear, we see where not only do the people need encouragement, but also the leaders need encouragement as well. Look at the next couple of verses. He goes on and says, be strong and encourage. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or tremble at them. For the Lord your God is the one who goes with you. He will not fail you or forsake you. We just talked about, the 28th chapter of Matthew, and Christ says, I'll be with you throughout the ages. And now we see here, God is telling the people there, he will be with them. And it goes on, the leader. Then Moses called Joshua, the one who's going to go before them, and said to them, in the sight of all Israel, be strong and courageous, for you shall go with this people into the land which the Lord has sworn to their fathers to give them, and you shall give it to them as inheritance. The people are encouraged. The leaders are encouraged. And they had the ability to do great things. We have been encouraged, Matthew 28. We have the ability to do great things. We need to take that push, that thrust, that incitement of encouragement and go. Now I'm mindful also as I'm not going to preach forever. I just want to say that because you might think I'm getting wound up and about to go into something. But I just want to leave that thought, if you will. But I'm mindful of those things that we do here. I just, flash the card here. We sit down and we send out cards of encouragement. We send out cards to motivate or to excite or encourage people to get off their bed of sickness. Sometimes they're lying in their bed and they just need a little encouragement with a card. Oh, you say you can't write. Well, I can't either. If you try to read my writing, you recognize I can't write. But the point here is put something on the card and make sure that they can at least read your name. Right. And send it. It will be a source of encouragement. We are doing that. We even go and visit. And I'm encouraged by that. That's not a door knock. That's you taking it upon yourself to go and visit. And you are a source of encouragement to those that you visit, whether they are members of the body or they're members within our community. When we go to their door, we should be a source of encouragement, positive encouragement. I heard someone say something similar to this here just a few days ago. It says something like, you go there and say, someone's on their bed, their sick bed, and you go there and say something, whether, I can't even think of who it is. So if I mess it up, whoever you was that said it, this is my approach to it. Okay, but you go in and you see that they're sick, and then you make the comment. You say, there's many people that have died from this. I don't know who that was, but I heard somebody say that. And maybe I didn't get it right, but I got the impression that was wrong kind of encouragement. But I don't know who that was. If you want to raise your hand, do it after you get out. But we want to go there with the right motivation, the right drive, and we want to pick them up spiritually. We want to encourage them, spiritually, and we want to help them to get well. We talk about laughter as being, good medicine. You can come in with some laughter. Sometimes my wife says I talk too much. Sometimes my jokes are not funny. So, I really can't win. But the point that I'm trying to make is we go there to try to encourage them. And our drive is to be on their side. And in being on their side, we walk with them through that valley. We encourage them as we go. I'm thinking of Psalms 23, and it's talking about going into the valley, the shadow of death. Fear no evil. And then he goes on. And the key point I want to bring out of there is because thou art with me. God has already told the Israelites that he's going to be with them if they go, if they do. God has already told us he's going to be with us through Christ. If we go, if we do, that's encouragement. And we're going to have to step out. We're going to have to try to walk alongside those that don't walk as fast as we do and help them along the way. When someone tells you, this is a great job for you, what they're telling you is, if you don't know how to do it, I'm going to show you how to do it. So, be encouraged. They're going to walk with you. They're going to carry you through this. I just heard the other day, another one too. I'm not going to say who that is. I think I know who that was. But there was someone that was talking about going to visit a coworker. And they were very nervous. And when they were getting ready to go, they happened to speak with another brother. I'm not going to say who that was either. And that brother says, you can do it. You got this. And the brother was motivated. He was encouraged. And he stepped out. That's what we're to do. We're to encourage. Now, I know we got a holiday coming up, Thanksgiving, and it was beautiful this morning the way we led our, worship services. I appreciate that. Didn't know how I was going to get this in there, but here it is. It's coming up, Thanksgiving. This is an opportune time to be a source of encouragement to our brethren that are not able to get out. They're shut in. This is an opportune time to be a source of encouragement to our neighbors, even our families that have already kicked us to the curb because we obeyed the gospel. Even to the family that have endorsed us, but they're no longer able to get out, move about. We could be a source of encouragement to them. So I'm not going to go long. Here it is. You are already encouraging your young ones in your home. Just think about a young child. Just getting over the crawling phase, wanting to walk. And they kind of, I can't mimic a kid. My knee's not that good anymore. But just think, the child is weak and not able to stand up on their feet very long, or can't really stand on their feet. And what do mom and dad do, or what do cousins and grandma and grandpa and all do when they see the child trying to get up on get up off of the forwards and on the feet, and they hit him. Not sure how they're gonna go. He said, "You can do it. You can do it. Come on, come on. You can do it." And then falls in. You say, "Oh, that's all right." You're encouraging them. We can do that also with our older children as well. They might be faced with having to do a report, having to do math or something like that, and this is a new math. I think they call it new math. It might be something else today. That might have been 20 years ago, I don't know. But anyway, they're faced with this challenge. And so now you have the ability to encourage them. "Oh, you can do that. You've done that many times. Come on, show me what you can do." You're encouraging them. That's what we're to be about. Tonight, we talked about encouragement. We've seen an example, which was in Deuteronomy. Though it was in the Old Testament, it's still applicable to us now. We look at Matthew, the 28th chapter, and we see that applies to us all day, every day. And so we have examples that will help us to go out. We also see examples within our own midst where we send out cards, not just here. There are many that send out cards from home. Even though we're coming in and doing the compassion cards and everything like that, there are many that send out cards from home. And I'm just amazed with the way we rally around one another when someone, just this morning, Missy came in, and I couldn't even get close to her because everybody was around me. I mean, yes, I got home and I could put her there, but this morning, people were all around her. And I thank you for that outpouring love there. And we do that not just for her, but we do that for many. And so what I want to share with you is encouragement is something that we can do. Encouragement is something that we are doing. And we are instructed to do so. If we are down, then call someone. I guarantee you. My brother just called someone and they told him that he could do it, and he was motivated. He was out there. So I guarantee you, you'll be motivated. Hopefully you don't get on fire, because sometimes they say that motivation or encouragement is incitement. You have that I can conquer the world type thing. We don't want you getting up on the roof and start jumping off like Superman or nothing like that. But we want you to know that you can do it. If there is any tonight that have not obeyed the gospel, I've shared with you some information from the Bible which is true. And I would like for you to be aware that can give you courage. And that should also give you the courage to know that God is faithful. When he says he's going to be with you, he's going to be with you. When Christ said he's going to be with us throughout the ages, he's going to be with us. But we can turn away, and we can miss out on that encouragement. We ask you tonight, if you have not obeyed the gospel, that you would obey it tonight through your learning, through your understanding. You yield yourself to Christ. For those of us who have obeyed the gospel and have, for some reason, chose not to continue to be faithful, chose not to step out and be a source of encouragement, you can rectify that tonight. And I encourage you to do so as we stand and sing the hymn that has already been selected. As you sit and sing the hymn that has